going forward, ruffle, shuffle another deck, and let's just see what the tarot has to say. What is it going to tell us? So I'm going to pull my 18 cards and then we'll look at them together and just see what they're pointing to. See if we can figure it out. So let's see, underneath all of it, it's about, oh yes, this is either about the emperor, he who would be king, or it also could be about taking charge in your own life, leadership, taking action as a leader. So let's see what the reading's about. First thing out is about a new action. Putting into place a new action. Now, if you're going to be emperor, somebody, a mover and a shaker, then you're going to be somebody out there that's putting into place new actions. But it also could be a reading about Trumpenstein and some new action that's going to be taking place when it comes to long term. This is about taking action that will affect long term. And the fight, the difficulty, the push that's taking place. Not easy. Keep battling through, continuing. You know, if you get pushed down, you get up and you go forward, okay? You get up and you continue forward when it comes to what you want to instill in place for the long term. So let's see, the energy in this is about the harvest. What are you putting out there? What you put out there, you will get back, okay? So what about the new action when it comes to this harvest? When it comes to the long term, this is the strength card for the long term. For the harvest, for the long term, when it comes to what's being hidden, the high priestess, or uncovering knowledge. So let's go ahead and see what knowledge needs to be uncovered when it comes to the long term. And that's what you surround yourself with. Your family, etc., the daily grind, all of these things aid in the fight going forward for the long term. Okay? So what we have going on today, it's about looking at what is there. The Four of Cups. Are you looking past that, or are you in that depression mode? In this deck, it's more positive. It's looking, more for what's coming. Sometimes you need to look at what you have on hand rather than just looking at what's coming. Okay? So it's about personal investigation, going within for the long term, strengthening things. Things will be strengthened the more that you can go in and do self-reflection and bringing out the light. Bringing out the light, what you're surrounding yourself with on a daily basis, what new actions you're doing, okay? So let's see, the challenge is a past. What are you holding on to from the past? What are you looking at when it comes to the past? So what is the message of actions that you're putting out there when it comes to the past and self-reflection, strengthening things for the long term, and higher knowledge, okay? The battle, what you're surrounding yourself with, are you surrounding yourself with light and higher awareness, okay, to go forward? So this looks like a continuation of the reading that I just did, because it's about we hold the power within ourselves. So what is the power, the energetic signal that you're putting out there? Because we always have the ability to go a new direction, okay? Again, what is it that you're putting out there concretely in the world to begin? You always have the opportunity to begin again. And there may be some things, where are you walking away from? Where are you going? Okay? Are you walking away from some emotional trauma, okay, into light? Okay? You're just not going to play with that anymore. You're not going to get yourself corralled by some of these things. Not going to let yourself get so upset. Just walk away from it, okay? Not give it energy. So the extra information is about the restrictions that one puts on themselves. The restrictions, it's all about the mental restrictions you surround yourself with. When it comes to the dark things, maybe some of the things not seen by the light of day, sometimes it's also about, this can be the card of psychic things as well. But again, if you are caught in the mind spin, you're going to draw in restrictions and drama. And draw in, again, what there's an agreement about. Now, I've talked about this before. Some people say, well, why do these psychics see this? Because you're like a radio station, and you're pulling in things that you are attracted to, etc. Now, if they have surrounding themselves with a lot of people that are in conspiracy theories, guess what you're going to pull in? Conspiracy theories, okay? So that has a huge thing to do with it, what you're pulling in. We have those that are, there's one over there, she's got her crystal ball, and, you know, everything is supportive of Trump. Everything she sees is Trump, you know, and so, again, many times what you're pulling in is what your mindset is running on. If you don't have the quiet mind, if you don't have, you know, if you are projecting those things, many times that's what gets pulled in by many of these psychics. So if we look at this, the foundation is the you know, with the battle that we're in, the weariness, we get up and we go forward. It's about the hidden thing, the secret hidden thing is, what are you surrounding yourself with? Okay? What do you have in your world that you are surrounding yourself with? Is it light? The sun, is it light? Is it higher awareness, looking towards the higher spiritual things, the star? Are you willing to walk away from some of these dramas rather than getting yourself so caught up and wound up that you make yourself ill? And again, this is about this agreement that you have with others. So you're in agreement with those that you surround yourself with. If you're not in agreement with those, then maybe it's time to find yourself a better community to be within, okay? Sometimes you have to walk away from things that are not fulfilling, that are not beneficial. That's why if you have somebody that's going through drug programs or something like that, they need to leave where they're at. You need to leave that behind and go to something beneficial, or else you'll get drugged right back into the drama again. So if we look at the center of this for the long-term strengthening, you have to go within. It's an internal search. And then the message about the actions, the new things that you're going to put into place when it comes to these elements that maybe you're drawn, and many people are drawn around by the emotions. The moon is also emotions, okay? That you can get stuck in those things. So again, it's about creating the new path for yourself. Above it all, we have the new action when it comes to what you want to harvest, and seeing what you have, and sometimes looking forward to what potentially can come when it comes to your desires. What is it you want to put into place and by your actions, okay? And the restrictions that you put on yourself. So sometimes, let's see what we have. Well, let's take this extra information away here. Again, this is about being emperor, ruling your life, being the person that gets out there and gets things done, leadership. If you are wanting to be a leader, then what is it you're showing others? What are you putting into place? The new action about what you're holding on to, and the direction that you're going, things you maybe are walking away from when it comes to the struggle that we're going through. So the very center of it, of course, is your inner reflection, the hermit. It's about going within and discovering your strengths and bringing those out in action. The message about the actions are those of strength, not those of loss and lack. Project strength, project a good way, a higher element when it comes to the harvest. You're going to be looking for the higher elements with that, and surrounding yourself with the things you desire, okay? Bringing those elements in when it comes to looking forward to the light, to the beneficial things. Now, when it comes to strength, for the long term, it takes self-reflection. The new action is towards the sun, the light, rather than having an action of depression or down or lack, all of those things. You want to bring in the more light that you can bring in, the better. When it comes to the difficulties one is going through and what you're looking, see what you have and what's coming for the future, rather than focusing on something that you don't like that's taking place now. So the other thing we have here is about the message about the action, reflection on the direction you want to go. What new thing you're bringing into being, the higher awareness of your desires, put those out there. The message is about shedding light and holding on to that energy, putting it out there, and walking away from maybe this feeling of lackluster drama. Okay? You have to put the energy out there if you want it to come back. So let's do the second part of this read and see what it says. Let's see what it's going to tell us. So it's basically, again, that same thing, an extension of the other read. Bring into motion now what you want in the future. Surround yourself with those things that are, again, going in that direction. Don't focus on lack and drama and that. Focus on the light. Focus on the things of benefit. Be a leader. So at the center of it, we have when facing loss. Maybe there has been some loss. So let's see what it says about that. On one side of it, loss. Yeah, again, what you're surrounding yourself with. Okay, the things that you have in your world. Now, this can be family. This could be, again, other community that you have. And it could be also the concrete things that you see of value. Okay? Now, there can be difficult times. Heartbreak, mental drama, the feeling of loss. Maybe you've lost some things that you wanted to hang on to. Let's see where this goes. Okay? Yeah, then you put these restrictions on yourself. When you start feeling loss of community or whatever it is, loss of assets, etc., then you start putting mental restrictions on yourself. Okay? When it comes to the message about the actions, are you focusing on something higher or the loss, the pain, the drama? Okay? The more drama and pain you focus on and message you put out there, guess what? The more that is going to be coming into ruling you. This is the abuse of power or the rulership of the mind. Okay? Ruling the mind with restrictions and loss. And if that's the energy you're putting out, that's what you're going to get back. Okay? So you can stay in the poor me saga, or you can elevate. Okay? Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, what do you have of value in your world that you're holding to? What do you see that you have of value? Rather than looking at restrictions, look at what you have in hand. And again, the message of truth. The message of truth going forward. Taking action, a message about the actions, a message of truth, what you have of value within your life, and what you're offering. Okay? Are you offering something up of value, of truth, or are you focusing on being ruled by restrictions that you put on yourself? Okay, up goes this way. So what's being overturned, what's being hung up, you need to see from a different viewpoint, and again, hold to truth. Bring that truth out rather than focusing on the drama. Don't take in drama. It's up to you what direction you go. So sometimes you need to see from a different viewpoint and come into alignment. Now, this one is interesting. It may not always be a physical lovers. It could be your higher beings, your higher awareness. Okay? And the cup, a new cup is coming in. What are you seeds you're going to plant that are going to flower in that emotionally? Okay? What are you putting in there? Are you having an alignment with higher beings, your guides, your masters, etc.? Is that who you're, again, holding to? Something, again, higher than going into the depression mode and letting the mental stuff rule you, or letting yourself getting into the drama of the emotions. So it's about turning things over into a new path, about elevating things rather than getting yourself in mental restrictions, emotional and mental restrictions of loss and lack, etc. I see so many people now with the stuff that's going on that are in loss and lack, and oh my God, he's going to take this away, he's going to take that away, and focusing on that, and that's what you're going to harvest if you continue to plant those seeds. Okay? So we see this as a temporary disappointment. But we know that absolutely this darkness is not going to win. Not unless we give it permission to. Not unless we move in there and allow it to take your being and your spirit and drag you down, okay, into these mental restrictions of drama. So elevate, okay? Come into alignment with the higher knowledge, the higher beings, okay? And come forward. Especially this time, you know, we're coming up on Easter, and what is it? The glad message, okay? The glad message that, you know, when you look at the resurrection, hell could not hold him. He descended to hell to what? Liberate those that were in the hell realms. And then he arose from that, okay? He went to drag those out of the hell realms, to give them the good news, to give them the information they needed to change their mindset, the restrictions that they put themselves in, to elevate, okay? So I will leave that here, and we'll see you online.